Good evening to you. I'm Christine Johnson.
And I'm Jessica Moore. We begin here at 5 with the rapid escalation in the Middle East as the war with Iran intensifies.
The waves of violence have disrupted travel, shaken metropolitan areas, and resulted in the deaths of civilians and also U.S. service members. The U.S. and Israel's military campaign entered its third day now, with new strikes and Iran retaliating against Israel and its Arab neighbors. The Pentagon today confirming 6 American troops have now been killed. And the president saying that the U.S. operation is ahead of schedule, but warns the military is prepared for a much longer campaign if necessary.
Meanwhile, the market opened down and oil prices are surging. Experts say oil could jump by as much as 30 cents a gallon by the end of the week. We're breaking down the latest developments tonight, from how the conflict escalated to the other countries now getting involved and the financial impact here at home. Let's begin with Dick Brennan with the latest on the fighting. Dick?
Well, Jessica and Christine, President Trump says this is just the beginning, that a big wave from the military is still to come. And he says that could mean a longer war.
An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people.
President Trump making his case for war against Iran and warning the timeline could be extended.
Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it.
The president says the U.S. is continuing to carry out large-scale combat operations, and Secretary of State Rubio says there could be larger strikes.
The hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military. The next phase will be even more punishing on Iran.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth would not rule out boots on the ground in Iran.
President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years.
But military experts say the U.S. does not have ground forces, not even Marines in the area.
There are no plans to do that. I think their plan is that the dissidents, the Iranian people, will rise up, and that will provide the boots on the ground, if you will, to complement the air campaign and force the government to change or to bring in a different government.
Iran is striking back, launching drones and missiles at U.S. allies. While the U.S. has intercepted most of them, the Pentagon said 6 U.S. service members have been killed.
We expect to take additional losses, and as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses.
The Pentagon also confirmed that 3 Air Force F-15 jets were shot down by friendly fire in Kuwait. All 6 crew members safely ejected. And right now, after the death of the Ayatollah, it's not clear what's happening inside the Iranian regime.
In terms of who's in charge, I don't think we really know, but the Iranians do have a line of succession for situations like this. There is probably some group that survived that is acting as some sort of committee until they select a new Ayatollah.
Now, the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militant group based in Lebanon fired missiles into Israel for the first time in more than a year. Israel responded by striking Beirut's southern suburbs. More indications of a possibly expanding war. Christine and Jessica.
A lot of political experts see Hezbollah's involvement as a huge escalation.
Yeah, it could be, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Dick.
Well, the NYPD says that we are in a heightened threat environment and has been stepping up security around sensitive locations. Police said that they will maintain what they call enhanced high-visibility patrols across the city. And we saw police outside synagogues, the Israeli consulate, and also some other sites today. Governor Hochul said the state is coordinating with the city for added security.
My number one job is keeping New Yorkers safe. I also want to speak directly to Iranian New Yorkers that you are safe here. We will continue to ensure that you belong here and that you feel that the state of New York is doing everything we can to protect you. And the same with Jewish communities who also feel that there could be retribution against them. And I want to let them know that we're taking this all very, very seriously. We will not tolerate any hate or retaliation against anyone who calls New York home.
Both the governor and the NYPD are urging New Yorkers to stay vigilant.
Here in the city, protesters are taking to the streets, speaking out against the war. Addie Guajardo joins us live outside Columbus Circle, where the protest is just getting started. Addie.
Hey there, Christina and Jessica. There's more than 4 dozen people out here equipped with their voice and signs out here calling for an end to this war, and more people are still arriving to this protest. Protesters here today are accusing the Trump administration and Israel of launching an unprovoked attack on Iran. Many here say they're standing together to reject what they call a, quote, illegal and, quote, another endless war.
We want to stop this war before it escalates any further, before this spills out into the rest of the region and really has catastrophic effects. Any one life is too many to lose to this war. And so whether this goes on for 4 weeks or longer, we are going to be out here demanding an immediate end to this war on Iran.
And what we're hearing out here being chanted behind me is, we want justice, we want peace. I spoke to a spokesperson that helped organize this protest out here, and she tells me they will continue to host these protests to put pressure on the Trump administration to bring peace to the United States. Reporting live at Columbus Circle, Addie Guajardo, CBS News, New York.
All right, Addie, thank you. Tens of thousands of people are literally stranded in regions across the world as airlines have continued to cancel flights to the Mideast. As of this morning, at least 9,500 flights have been canceled since the war began in Iran. And according to Flight Radar 24, more than 1,400 are scheduled for tomorrow. To break it down a little further, 34,000 flights canceled today and yesterday. And then on Saturday, 1,400 flights were canceled.
Turmoil in the Middle East is trickling down here at home in multiple ways, including on Wall Street. At the closing bell, the Dow dropped 73 points. The S&P fared better, picking up just under 3. The Nasdaq gained about 80. And the uncertainty overseas may also extend to gas prices. Tony Aiello spoke with experts about what we should expect.
Prices at the pump were already ticking up, about 10 cents a gallon in the last month, as refineries begin producing pricier summer blend gasoline. Now, war in the Middle East.
We're barely making it now, so we just have to prepare for it to get worse, I guess.
It's going to take some time before the price will increase eventually.
But you think it will?
Yes, going to.
The outcome of the war uncertain, but the economic impact is already being felt. Oil prices rising about $7 a barrel in early trading before easing slightly. Every $1 increase in the price per barrel translates to a 2.5-cent hike per gallon of gas.
Attack in the Middle East, attack on Iran, the risk of threat to the Strait of Hormuz, this is sort of the mother of all scenarios that would cause oil prices to go through the roof.
The Strait of Hormuz is a choke point where Iran can dramatically disrupt oil shipping.
Ships are quite wary of going through that right now, and if that extends for any significant period of time, that'll really send oil prices up.
Another concern, Iranian attacks disrupting energy production infrastructure in the region.
This is all coming at a time when worldwide oil supplies have been robust, some calling it a surplus.
Now we're facing the possibility that that surplus might evaporate quickly, and we might wind up back in a sort of oil price shock kind of thing that we all think about historically.
A reminder, nationwide, prices are still well below the June 2022 average of $5 per gallon.
You just got to roll with it, that's all. This is historic what's happening in the Middle East, and maybe finally we'll have peace in the Middle East, hopefully.
Tony Aiello, CBS News, New York.
And for the very latest up-to-date information on the war with Iran, head over to cbsnewyork.com.